Hello, everybody. This is Politics with Avi, and I'm Avi. In today's 12th episode, we're going to be talking about Marxist political thought in Russia. Karl Marx made a great contribution to the development of political economy. He created a theory of utopian socialism. He formed the practice of the revolutionary movement, raised ideas about historical development, about a just society, and the ways to achieve it to a qualitative new level. Many of his ideas have retained their relevance and are still relevant today. The most important are A. Understanding of political relations as a variety of social relations and interpretation of power as a social phenomenon. B. An explanation of the essence of politics, culture, spiritual life based on their conditionality by the socioeconomic environment. Approach to politics, culture, spiritual life as relatively independent spheres of society. C. Consistency of political power, the state in a class society. On one hand, the consideration of the state as an organization that expresses the specific interests of all members of society, the development of communications, energy and heat supply, law enforcement, etc. On the other, the state, the ruling class, the instrument of the strong, constituting a minority. Constituting a minority. The strength constituting a minority. From the point of view of Marx, the basis for the emergence and development of political phenomena is not the consciousness of people, but their social being. Society, in his opinion, is a social organism. The Marxist doctrine of state and law includes both philosophical and sociological ideas. He believed that the state should ultimately die. This process he considered absolutely inevitable. The state arises as a result of the split of society into antagonistic classes. Classes are large groups of people with different interests that differ in their relation to the means of production. The class, in the full sense, recognizes itself as a sphere, as a special social group with its own interests. The most necessary form of expression of class consciousness is a political party. With the emergence of the state in society, there is a constant class struggle. The state is a product and a manifestation of the intrasignances of class contradictions. In turn, the class struggle inevitably leads to the dictatorship of the proletariat. And this dictatorship in itself only constitutes a transition to the destruction of all classes and to a society without classes. The economic basis, in his opinion, still dominates the state. And within the state, two classes are opposing, the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. The bourgeoisie is the ruling class. Moreover, in his opinion, a parasitic class. The class that occupies a dominant position in the economy seeks to consolidate its dominance in politics to gain state power. Thus, state power is an organization, a special apparatus of violence of the ruling class. Marx is clearly not satisfied with the current course of things, and he hopes for the proletariat as a special force of liberation from the yoke of the bourgeoisie. The proletariat must strive for political domination, and for this, it must break the bourgeoisie dominant machine. After the seizure of power, it is necessary to establish its own dictatorship, the dictatorship of the proletariat. As a way of seizing power for the proletariat, he considers a violent revolution. True, in his later works, he also pointed to the peaceful path with the conquest of most seats in parliament. This is his alternative to violence. His reviews on the revolution are very interesting. He considered it the highest form of class struggle. Rebellion considered art. He deduced the following rules. Never play with rebellion if there is no determination to go to the end. Once the uprising has begun, it is necessary to act with the greatest determination and go on the offensive. Defense is the death of any armed insurrection. The plan for seizing power was thought out very thoroughly. The possession of state power opens up the possibility for one or another political entity to influence all aspects of society and thereby affirms its political dominance. The state of the dictatorship of the proletariat is a new kind of democracy and freedom. Dictatorship, in his intentions, is a transitional period between capitalism and socialism. Thank you guys so much for being with me today in this lesson. of Politics with Avi in this episode. And I hope to see you guys soon again. Take care.